can see why. It's less aggravation.
I think it's nerve-wracking. I mean, to a degree, it is nerve-wracking.
iPhone says it's 9 o'clock. Let's get started. I've asked Captain Royer to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the November 17, 2014 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Kevin Cook, who serves as vice chair, represents District 2, and Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1. Welcome and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First item, well, the first item is unfinished business, and this issue has been resolved by the parties, and so if there's no disagreement, I'd like to just remove that from the agenda.
No disagreement.
Do we have to approve the resolution or not?
No.
We don't have to, oh, there's no reason to, okay.
Yeah.
Will there, question, will
Yes,
there
ma'am.
be action on another agenda coming forward that then will resolve
Yep.
the issue?
Commissioners Tom Bach with Public Works and Solid Waste. Yes, the property owner has gone back and reconsidered and accepted our final offer that we had offered him before, and that paperwork will be coming on a subsequent meeting.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Commissioner. Next item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
I have no issues.
Not either. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda as presented by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,902,552.62. Some of the highlights from those vouchers are the payroll, capers contributions. We have payments that were made, actually, it falls under buildings, but it's parks and recreation. It was for the fish, the trout that stocked the lake, of $19,950. For Department of Corrections, Aramark had their payments for the food at the jail, holding accounts with the state of Kansas, Blue Cross Blue Shield payments for our employees. Parks and Recreation had $118,581, but there were no issues there. And then road and building projects with the county. I have no issues, and I would move for their approval. Also noting I did not catch any of the trout.
Are you going to second that?
I'll second, but question, did you at least go fishing?
I tried.
Oh, okay, I did not. Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller to approve the correction orders, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution numbers 2014-100 and 2014-101, authorizing a cereal malt beverage license for TJ's Express, located at 5305 Southwest Topeka Boulevard, and Dillon's Store number 37, located at 6829 Southwest 29th Street. And Commissioners, both of these resolutions have been reviewed by the Counselor's Office. We have been notified the townships, have done a investigation with KBI. Health inspections have been performed. Everything has been approved by everyone, and they're before you for approval.
Taxes paid.
Everything, yes.
Okay.
That's all.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolutions as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, District Attorney, number 1, consider approval of request for $150,000 in contingency funding needed due to 3 capital murder cases.
Morning, Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. I'm speaking with you this morning because DA Taylor is unavailable because of one of these trials. And I think his memo is pretty self-explanatory. This is an unforeseen situation, which is what our contingency money is for. I need to propose one change, and I have discussed this with the DA, and he is fine with this. What I need to propose is a change in how this is accounted for. A general fund balance cannot be rolled forward to a subsequent year. So what I'm proposing is that we set this amount up as a job ledger, much like a county project. At the time, and that way there is not a problem. You just pay out of this job ledger until the project or this trials are done. At the time these trials are complete, then any balance would be paid back to the general fund. Right now, the balance in our contingency fund is $494,281 out of the $500,000 that was budgeted. We have paid out $5,000 of that for the sheriff's portion of the crisis management, and then we also paid another $718,000 out for a portion of the jail repairs.
Questions or comments about the expenditure request?
I don't. I've had an opportunity to speak with the district attorney regarding this. I understand this is an exceptional circumstance, and I would approve this request.
I'll second. I appreciate the fact, though, of keeping it a separate line item, I think, for accountability.
Yeah, I talked to the DA too, and I appreciate Betty bringing this up and explaining it to us, and I know he is busy with jury selection on one of these cases, so, is that a motion?
Motion to approve.
And
Second.
Second. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. And thanks again, Betty. Next item.
Item C, District Court, number 1, consider approval of request to purchase 30 chairs under a state contract with a total cost of $11,340.40.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kathy Lenhart, Court Administration. Let me apologize for my memo, which I realize in reading it is a little bit grammatically incorrect, but at any rate, as I said in the memo, the clerk's office has not purchased chairs since 1999, so they're past ready. And many of their employees really need chairs that do more than just go up and down, but we have other adjustments that they need through looking at some ergonomic issues with people getting carpal tunnel and a variety of other things. We felt like it was time to get this done. So 30 of the 52 is what we're going to start with.
In 1999 was
That's the last time she bought chairs.
And you're back already, huh?
Use it up, wear it out, or do without, you know?
15 years.
Oh, that's funny. Any questions or comments?
No.
Kathy?
I'd move for approval of the expenditure of the 30 chairs.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Kathy. Next item.
Item D, Kansas Expo Center, number 1, consider approval of rental rates as follows. A, Heritage Hall, $750 for non-commercial, $875 for commercial. B, Agricultural Hall, $1,000 for non-commercial, $1,500 for commercial. C, Exhibition Hall, $2,500. D, Landed Arena, $2,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. H.R. Cook, General Manager, Kansas Expo Center. Before you are proposed rates for 2015 for the majority of our buildings. One of the buildings that is not included in this rate increase proposal is Domer Arena. We feel that our rental rates are in line, And the reason why we're here today in front of you, a few years ago when Commissioner Inslee was on the commission, he asked us to come to the commission for approval for any base rent increases. And we've not raised our rates in several years. We've discussed it with the advisory board, looked at our comparable buildings that we compete with, and wanted to keep them in line yet affordable to the community. So we feel that these are the rates that we can sustain as far as the rent is concerned. One thing to keep in mind, because these are for 2015 and we work so far ahead, most of our events have already been contracted for 2015. So if anybody has any, these will impact people who are not contracted yet or have not contacted us yet for a bid quote for either a wedding or a trade show, concert. So most of these prices will take place probably in 2016.
Questions or comments for Mr. Cook?
How many years have passed since the last rate increase?
I think about 2 or 3. I'm thinking closer to 3.
I know that on the time that we've served, we haven't seen
No, I
this.
see.
And so, I mean, I don't see any issue. I mean, obviously, things cost more every year. The cost of the facilities, this would help go towards the maintenance of the facilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it helps maintain our operating, and that's part of the maintenance, yes. So, and we stay very busy. You know, we're still doing over 700 events a year. Heritage Hall is booked almost 2 years in advance. So, you know, we're trying to market Ag Hall a little bit more, but it's fairly busy also. But Land and Arena and Exhibition Hall, especially Land and Arena, most of our events in there are co-promoted events, or these are the base rents versus a percentage of ticket sales. So it really wouldn't affect any shows that would come to town, because that's based on a percentage of ticket sales, but this is the base rent.
Is that a question?
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Cook.
HR on,
Yeah.
that's great. On comparables, what cities do you look at?
We look at Lawrence, we look at Junction City, Emporia. We stay away from Kansas City because that's just a different market. Manhattan now, we do those comparables there. We do a little bit in Hutchinson, mainly for the ag-related items, but we try to stay amongst the cities in this area.
Thanks. I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. While you're here, tell us about the demolition derby. I thought that was an interesting story that we were talking.
Yes, Demolition Derby was this weekend. It was a great success for the promoter. This is our 5th year with the Blizzard Bash. This is the National Indoor Demolition Derby Championships. There's nothing else like it in the United States. 5 years ago, when the promoter came to us with this idea, we kind of scoffed at him a little bit, but said, okay, if you're willing to pay the rent. Bringing in 119 loads of dirt and utilizing most of our buildings. The promoter lost money the first year and was going to get out of it. We saw an opportunity just based upon the amount of rooms booked in the city. We saw that the people coming to the Blizzard Bash were mostly from out of town. And through the 5 years, as partners, he is now filling up about 7 to 8 of our major hotels. Still mainly out-of-town people. We did a calculation earlier this year based on last year's event, and it's close to $2 million as far as direct economic impact to the community. He wants to come back and do a long-term agreement, but would like us to explore maybe some better exhaust options in the arena. You scoff me, but I'm coming back. So we'll be looking at those. It's an incredibly successful event for the Expo Center, and as far as booking events, you have to book the things that work in the community and book the things that people want to see.
That's right. And then we have to tell people about the economic impact that visitors to our city and Shawnee County, the impact they have.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions from various businesses asking what was going on in the town because they had to make extra orders, especially at the liquor stores and things. But yeah, it's a big event. They're here for 5 days, and we're glad to have them back.
Okay, thank you, HR. I'm glad I drugged that out of you. Next item, please.
Item E, Sheriff's Office. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 404-2014 with New World Systems for additional Aegis as MSP in inventory software at a cost of $4,500.
Morning, Commissioners. Lance Royer from the Sheriff's Office. Be happy to answer any questions. This particular issue is an addition to our New World Microsoft platform that we're building. This is actually the cost for travel and installation. The cost of the software module was actually $24,000, and I beat him up a little bit and said we weren't going to pay that, so I got it down to $4,500. So
This was an add-on to what we already purchased. Would you explain that?
that's
a little
correct.
bit?
The big piece is our records management system for the Sheriff's Office, Police Department, Topeka Fire. All of those jurisdictions do pay maintenance into it to us. We pay New World the maintenance. This is also CAD for dispatch, records management for the Sheriff's Office as well as the Police Department. So it's a pretty big project.
Good, good, thank you. Questions or comments for the captain?
Move approval. of the
Second.
request.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item E2, consider authorization and execution of contract C 405-2014 with AT&T for 911 system support for 2 years at a cost of $71,345.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is the maintenance for our 911 system in our communication centers that serve Shawnee County. We're doing a 2-year contract, which will give us a savings of $7,510. The software maintenance of this was rolled into our purchase price 5 years ago, so we haven't been before the commission for the last 5 years on software maintenance because we've rolled that in. Next year will be year 6. AT&T is the vendor for Cassidian in this territory, so be happy to answer any other questions if you have them.
Questions or comments?
No, I have none.
Move approval of the contract with Cassidian, or Cassidian?
It's actually with AT&T.
With
Yes.
AT&T,
Yes.
sorry. With AT&T for 911 service.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you,
Good
Commissioners.
to see you. Next item.
Item F, Treasurer. Number 1, consider approval of request to waive the purchasing resolution and purchase upgraded security cameras from CBS Manhattan LLC for the Motor Vehicle Division at an amount of $10,151.89.
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Maw, Shawnee County Treasurer. This expenditure is for upgrading the video security system at the annex. This is a result of a security audit that I requested from the Shawnee County Treasurer's Office, or the Sheriff's Office, last year. The request is actually asking for approval to forego the RFP process for security reasons. This is a joint conclusion of the Treasurer's Office, the Sheriff's Office, as well as IT, to maintain the continuity of the existing system and for security reasons to limit the number of people who have knowledge about this system.
Questions or comments? This is motor vehicle. It's
Yes.
This is all state money.
Yes, this is motor vehicle expenditure.
Motor vehicle, and I think
so the
it's
request
always
is-
important that
Yeah.
people understand the difference in
Yeah,
Shawnee County money and state money. So,
Yeah, the request is not for approval of the expenditure, it's to forego the RFP process.
Yeah, to waive the,
yes.
I'll make a motion to waive the purchasing resolution.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Thank you.
Item G, Community Corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill a juvenile intensive supervision officer position at a total cost, including benefits, of $48,946.45 annually.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed O'Rear, Community Corrections.
we had one of our juvenile officers request a lateral movement from juvenile to adult work to fill one of our newly created and approved adult positions. That leaves us with a space open on the juvenile side. This is a request to fill that position, and the salary for this officer position is paid for solely by Kansas Department of Corrections Juvenile Services grant funds. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'll make a motion to approve filling the position.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Ed.
Thank
Thank you. Next item.
Item H, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 406-2014 with the Special Olympics Kansas for use of Parks and Recreation facilities for the Polar Plunge to be held on February 7th, 2015 at the Lake Shawnee Swim Beach with an expense of $248.72 to Parks and Recreation and $640 in revenue to the Parks and Recreation Foundation.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. This is a special use contract. It's a fundraiser for the Special Olympics Kansas. In researching what the true costs to the county are for this, I did have Sean go back and find out if we had any other people wanting to use the Lake Shawnee Swim Beach in February. He said no, so I had him go back again, but he still found nobody interested on February the 7th. With that being said, this is a tremendous event. It's a good fundraiser for Special Olympics Kansas, and a very large turnout of volunteers, plus a significant impact to the Topeka, Shawnee County, the economic impact to the community. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Questions or comments?
Motion to approve the agreement, although I will not be participating.
It's usually the chair who usually does that. But it doesn't have to.
I'll second the motion.
I think I heard a challenge there that will not be fulfilled. Motion made by Commissioner Cook to approve the contract, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0, and this is very worthwhile.
Yes, it's a great
And I
event.
appreciate it. Next item.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Item I, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill Office Assistant 2 position at a salary including benefits of $32,302.60, and to fill any subsequent positions that become vacant as a result of filling this one.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is in our Public Works Department. One of our office assistants, who is also our receptionist, is taking another position. She came from the law enforcement field as a dispatcher. She has determined that she really likes that field of work, so she's going to actually go back to that field of work. So this is a critical position for our department, and we would like to refill it if approved.
Questions or comments from Mr. Block?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Tom. Next item.
Item J, Health Agency. Number 1, consider approval of request to reclassify a dietitian position from a .5 FTE to a .75 FTE on the Women, Infants, and Children program at a cost, including benefits, of $55,150.
Morning, Commissioners. Allison Alejos, Health Agency. As stated, we're requesting permission to increase a registered dietitian to a .75 FTE position. We do serve quite a few folks in our Women, Infant, and Children program, not only here in Shawnee County, but Wabunsee and Osage counties as well. This individual will help to offset some of the vacancies we have during times of staff illness, vacations, things like that. They will continue to do the same things that they have done over time, such as assessing folks' nutritional needs, provide some nutritional counseling, making referrals in the community as necessary, and community education. The actual cost for this change is only going to be $18,383. That's the salary and benefit increase. It will be covered specifically and entirely with the WIC grant.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item J2, consider authorization and execution of contract C407-2014 with Hickok and Associates LLC for laboratory director services at a cost of $550 per month.
This is a renewal contract with Hickok and Associates LLC. They provide the lab director that's required through the Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendment. This is something that we've had in place since I've been at the health agency and much longer, I'm sure. This individual comes out and does monthly site visits for the agency. They check our quality control aspects of the work we do. They make sure that maintenance is up on all of our equipment, help with proficiency testing, provide training for staff. The list goes on and on. This is $550 per month, and it is paid through a combination of tax allocation and program fees. It's really kind of hard to pull those apart. But we do have this individual in place for both the local health department and the community health center. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Move approval of the laboratory contract.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Commissioners.
Allison. Next item.
Item K, emergency management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C408-2014 with Homeland Security, transferring a 2015 Ford F-550 pickup or truck worth $56,057, including accessories, to Shawnee County.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is the truck that you approved last year. We did receive it a few months ago, so this is the final transfer from the Northeast Planning Committee to Shawnee County. The truck is actually sitting out on the east side today if anybody wants to look at it, but the truck didn't cost us anything for the truck and the auxiliary fuel tanks and everything, but we do insure it and pay for the fuel because the title actually resides in Shawnee County. This truck was purchased with the intent of being able to pull the big trailers such as the comfort trailer and the stop movement trailer that we use for all the parades and major events. And in fact, this morning I was informed that there's another emergency agency in Shawnee County that's also going to request to be able to have us use that truck to haul another large emergency trailer in the county as a backup. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
Questions or comments for Mr. Sturbins?
I don't have any questions. I'll move approval of the contract.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller and seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, David. Next item.
Item L, noxious weeds. Number 1, consider approval of request to solicit bids for noxious weed control herbicides for 2015 with an estimated cost of $125,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Welborn, Noxious Weed Department. I'm here to seek permission to solicit bids for chemical purchases for the 2015 year. And we have monies available in our funds due to the reimbursement from chemical sales from this year. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
What do we typically budget, John? How much do we typically budget?
Typically, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000 that is used to purchase chemicals to carry us through an entire year. We do have chemicals that will carry over that we've already purchased. This particular sales will not carry us all the way through the year, but will get us a fair distance into next year.
Are there questions for John?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries
Thank you.
3-0. Thank you, John. Next item.
Item M, information technology. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C409-2014 with Software Diversified Services for annual maintenance of software and provides backup functions for the mainframe application in an annual amount of $4,261.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat Oblander with the Information Technology Department. This item is for renewal of the maintenance for a piece of software that we use to back up data and programs that are running on the mainframe. And this is the annual renewal for that. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Questions?
None? I move approval of the contract.
I will second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Commissioners, Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. With us having no meetings last week, I want to announce, I think a lot of people know this already, but the project on 46th Street, Northwest 46th Street, between Rochester and Topeka, the second phase of that at Rochester was opened as of Friday morning. So that project is complete, and just wanted to say we really appreciate the folks up north who had to endure the construction for, I think, since March. I know anytime we do projects like this, it is an inconvenience, but they were very good with us throughout the project, so we really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Barry Beagle with the Shawnee County Planning Department. Subsequent to the County Commission's consideration of the City of Topeka's Land Use and Growth Management Plan, the Shawnee County Planning Commission took up discussion of that item as well at their November 10th meeting. The principal concern related to the adoption of the plan was whether the residents within the 3-mile area, and in particular the urban growth areas defined by the City of Topeka, have had adequate opportunity to be notified and express their viewpoints concerning the plan's policies and recommendations prior to adoption by the City Council. It was because primarily of that concern that the Planning Commission wanted to direct this back to you for possible consideration. I'm happy to be joined today by Pat Tryon with the Shawnee County Planning Commission, who could also express any comments if there's any desired by the County Commission. But again, the principal concern is not as much with the plan itself, but with the notification process and making sure that the residents within the 3-mile area have had adequate notice and the opportunity to participate and offer their comments concerning the draft plan.
Well, if I understand you correctly, there's no issue with increasing the size of a lot from 3 acres to 20 acres that you can develop or build a house on? That's not a problem?
The Shawnee County Planning Commission did not necessarily endorse the change in the plat exemption from 3 acres to 20 acres, even though they could understand the rationale behind changing it from a growth management policy. So yes, there was concern expressed about that, but then taking that a step further is that the properties that are most directly impacted by that change, they should have been given the opportunity to come forward and to express themselves with regard to that change. At this point, outside of 3 open houses for which press releases were issued by the City of Topeka, there was no direct notification to property owners within the 3-mile area. And those are the properties that are most directly affected by the changes in the Land Use Growth Management Plan more than within the City of Topeka. And so regardless, that was the principal point and the principal concern of the Planning Commission.
Commissioner, if I may.
But, but the practical effect of this is to pretty much shut down development in the area, and it sounds to me like that's the city's intent. Do you agree or disagree, or what am I missing?
Well, I think the City of Topeka has some very specific objectives. What they are trying to do is to shore up their economic and fiscal house, and trying to bring growth and development commensurate with the ability to provide infrastructure to serve that development. So their first priority through all of this is to capture infill and redevelopment opportunities first within the City of Topeka. And then secondly, to accommodate growth on the urban fringe only commensurate with the ability that those urban services would also be available to support development. Part of the problem, I think, has been is that the leakage of population outside of the City of Topeka into the unincorporated area has put a financial strain on the City of Topeka, for which they feel that they need to shore up growth and development within the areas that they can control. And so, I'm I'm not intending to be the mouthpiece on behalf of the city of Topeka with regard to that. I can understand the principles and, that they are offering. But yes, it will have a change. If these changes take effect, it will have a dramatic impact on property owners within the 3-mile area and their ability to subdivide land as they currently enjoy today.
Darn right. Commissioner Cook?
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting earlier.
No, it's okay.
Barry, if we looked at the plan, their plan really only encompasses that 3-mile radius. If we were to go 4 miles or 5, then you fall into the area of Shawnee County. And we don't have a 20-acre restriction there, do we?
No, we do not. We have a 3-acre, 200-foot frontage policy.
And so if you happen to be just barely beyond that boundary, these restrictions would not apply to you.
That is correct.
Additionally, there's parts of the plan that talk about annexation, and I think that's really more troubling. I mean, the development is troubling, but more troubling to me is that the plan outlines a systematic annexation of people that fall within that boundary. And I don't know that people are aware that they may be subject to future annexation into the city of Topeka. So.
Again, that's the whole point of bringing this to the attention of the county commission, and hopefully some kind of expression could be made to the city council saying that, look, there should be an overt opportunity to notify those property owners within the 3-mile radius, so that way they at least have the opportunity to come to the table, learn firsthand what these policy changes are, and then offer their comments on it before it's adopted by the city council.
Commissioner Beulah.
So Barry, you sent us a memo to the commission, and it had 5 recommendations from the planning commission, because they had a rather lengthy discussion about this.
Yes.
And let's say 10 years or 5 years down the road, we have a property owner who comes to us who can't subdivide their lot as they want to. And they say, well, when was my chance to talk about this? And really, they're not, those people within that 3-mile area are represented by us alone. And so I think we do have a responsibility to inform those people. And unfortunately, though, tomorrow is when the city may be taking action on this. So I think this impacts a lot of different things, and the townships, from what I've heard from them, you know, it does impact their tax base over time. That impacts their roads and their maintenance of those things and that sort of thing. So there are some implications, you know, some consequences to this that, you know, encouraging people to contact the city council, but then they're not represented by them.
Right.
So, you know, I guess my question is, does the commission want to make some sort of statement or presence at the city council meeting to make our concerns known, to go on the record, at least, that we are concerned about these things?
I think that's an excellent idea. And it's tomorrow night, I think
It
it's
is
being
tomorrow
considered.
night.
Correct.
Okay. I've already committed to the extension.
I think we're all committed
yes.
to the extension
We are.
event tomorrow evening. But Barry, did the Planning Commission have any discussion about if we were to go forward as the commission and Planning Commission to at least go on record tomorrow evening? Who would be there?
No, there wasn't, outside of just directing this to your attention, and then hopefully the county commission would act to forward its viewpoints onto the city council. But how that was to be expressed, no. There was no discussion of that directly.
Well, let me ask the city council and the city manager to defer consideration of this issue for a week or two until we have an opportunity to hear from our constituents more about it, number one, and number two, have an opportunity to appear before the city council and express our concerns.
Yep.
We respectfully ask the city to do that, defer consideration of this for a period until we can listen to our constituents, inform them more of what's going on, and then have a strategy to attend that meeting. So,
Very good.
okay.
I think that's sound.
Okay. Comparable? Is that-
Yes.
Okay, okay.
All right, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
For bringing us up to speed.
Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. I'm pleased to make the announcement that the first 35,000 tax statements will be in the mail today. And hopefully by the end of the week, nearly 90,000 statements will have been delivered. As you know, we are issuing the statements for the first time under our new software package. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the clerk's office as well as IT and my own folks for the effort to get these out about 2 weeks ahead of what we normally issue the statements. And to give you some idea of how much effort went into that, we had to hand sort nearly 80,000 statements before we could mail those to overcome some bugs in the system that we will have fixed by next year. But tremendous effort, and those first 35,000 were delivered to the pre-sort on Friday. They should be in today's mail, may be received by tomorrow. And just as a reminder, the first half payment is due December the 20th. Thank you.
Others? Commissioner Cook.
Last week, I had the opportunity, along with Rich Eckert, County Councilor, Allison Alejos, with the Health Department, John Thummel was a presenter, to attend the Kansas Association of Counties annual conference in Wichita. I found it to be very informative. It was very good to sit down and talk with other commissioners as to problems that they're facing, things that they've found as strengths, and maybe some solutions that they found to some of their issues that we might be able to apply to Shawnee County. And it's always good to collaborate and to communicate with your other commissioners. And so I appreciate the commission allowing me the opportunity to go, and I found it to be very informative.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Anything?
No.
Commissioner Gill? Next item.
Item 6, executive session.
There's a need for an executive session to discuss non-elected personnel for a period not to exceed 15 minutes, and it will involve commissioners only. So that is a motion.
A second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. We're in executive session.
chairs?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was-
All right, we are back in session, no action required, and we're adjourned.
The council takes you up on that deferred action. Tomorrow night, they're taking